Hola, señores and señoritas. Hi, Becs. I'm going to try and find us because I have to do it on my laptop. Are you going to say anything? Say something. Say something.
I'm doing face aerobics. I'm sorry we're late, everybody.
I'm looking here. Siri.
Kaya.
She's
I see us.
You see us, but I've got to find us and share us.
Ooh, Amy's out. She's like, hello, funny faces.
Oh, you're already on there. Flip. I'm like behind the 8 ball, yeah.
You're so slow.
I know. Hold on.
Hi, Deborah Lee.
You say hi to all the people.
The people have to say hi to us before I know if they're there. Hi, Renee.
And I am editing this quickly.
I don't know what she's editing. Are you trying to send the link?
Yeah.
Hi, Charlene. We didn't forget you. We didn't forget you this time.
People rely on us for this link.
Yeah, it's not nice if you don't get notified.
We are live. Guess what? I did it.
Well done. Look up.
Hold on, I'm going off this silly Facebook. Okay. Now I'm going to find us on this one so that I can see the comments. I did it. Ta-da! Oopsie. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, but we hear everything in the background.
Hello,
Monique. You did it. Hello. You did it. You did it.
Yeah. I did it. Hello,
you
Jane.
were saying the other day that they have so many songs stuck in their head. It was like all the single ladies, and it was Friday, and it was Dora. They were like, they just keep singing all the songs.
The definitely like we did it is like something that every single time I hear it, that song comes up in my head.
Okay, here's the burning question of the day, everybody. Who watched the live workout? Who did the live workout today with the amazing Botswana team?
Aren't they so cool? Weren't they so cool?
I was so impressed with them. That was a hard workout. There were so many burpees. For those who maybe are going to catch up on Saturday. Well, I guess she just left us, guys. We see the office chair now. For those who are going to catch up on Saturday, it was a goodie.
Yes.
And it was so much fun to be with them.
I know, and you worked out with them as well. I love it when we have different tribe groups that come on. I love it because everyone does things like at their level, which we speak about all the time. But yes. I love it that like you were skipping with the rope, like P was skipping, but with just her weights, and then the other three were doing like the low impact variation. It was so cool to see like all the different, like I love it that we speak about it, like put your feet on the chair or your hands on the chair. And it's nice to see like people doing what like suits them best.
I think it's amazing. And it's fun to work out with because you're like, oh, I fit in, like I'm doing it like that person, or I'm doing it like that person. And also different people's strengths.
Exactly.
Like maybe sit-up exercises are easy for you, but planking is not, or everyone has different strengths.
100%. Hello, Claire. Hello, Sandy. Hello, Sandine. Claire says, Test Me Tuesday was great. You nearly killed my husband, though. Hello, Sandine. Hello, Susan. Hello, Karen. Hello, everyone. Ez is with us. Tessa is with us.
There's so much love for the Botswana team. Botswana.
I honestly I'm like my head is hurting from how much moaning is going into my ears the last like couple of days.
Yeah, she's teething. Let's see her little facey, please.
She's just like, she has this whole playpen to play with, but she just wants to moan.
Well, yeah, she wants people.
Oh my gosh,
I'm gonna get her. She wants to see me. Come on. There's so much love for the Botswana team.
Come on, little moany Mona.
Thanks, Cara. You know how much I love to talk.
Well, say hi.
Hi, Kaya. Hi. Are you moaning today?
Say yes. Say I'm just moaning the whole day. That's all I'm doing.
I like your spiky hair. I do. She's so cute. What's happening? What's happening today? You want to come visit? Kaya! Oh my gosh, I wish I could hold her.
Not long, not long, not long. Hello to everyone that is with us. Today this whole week, we are speaking about process, not product, progress, not perfection.
There's been some really emotional posts that I've read that have just made me like well up. And
I'm so far behind on the social media stuff,
well,
like with moving.
Either way, it's been absolutely amazing. And people have been sharing stories and yeah, I just feel like vulnerability breeds vulnerability.
Oh, 100%.
I can't focus with her facey smiling at me.
And today it's going to be your time to share a little bit about your vulnerability.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous. I like to support and be the backup girl. Don't like to be
the main act.
Just feel weird. I feel awkward. I feel like one of those people who like comes in for the hug when the handshake's out, you know? Just feel like...
Hold on, I'm putting it in.
I'm good when I'm asking questions.
Oh my gosh. Hold on. I'm just trying to put her in her little playpen so that I can concentrate.
Okay, baby.
Oopsie. Oopsie. This is literally my life. It's just at the moment just like chaos. That's
well,
all
it's a good week for it, right? Process.
It's just chaos. Literally.
Hello.
Like that. My life right now is just like, it's one full-blown chaotic mess. Becs, I want to start this because I want to set the tone. I don't know where you wanted to start, but
I'm happy for you to start. I'm very happy.
So I want to set the tone with, how long ago was it?
I don't know what you're going to talk about.
It was for your birthday last year. It was for your birthday last year.
No, it was at lockdown. March.
Was it lockdown? I can't remember, but it was over a year ago now.
It was the March after, yeah.
Yes, over a year ago now, where you had been speaking a lot about like not being happy in your own skin, and you know, I would notice that there would be certain like ways that you would dress where you wouldn't like want to have your legs showing and like all different things, but you'd spoken about it a lot, but you hadn't ever done anything about it. And I remember during lockdown when I started Jeff, I was like, I want to give you something, and I feel like if I give this to you, then you'll have to do it, kind of thing. Like it's something that you'll have to do. Speak to us about where you were at and then your journey from there and the different processes that kind of happened, because that's what this journey and the story we want to speak about today is.
Well, yeah, we want to speak about two things. The first is the fitness journey, and the second is the second part of the journey I want to speak about. But I think for me, I never thought that being fit or feeling good in my body would ever be something that was a possibility. I truly didn't think that. I just thought this is the way I am, like dress to cover up, dress to hide, and to kind of cover up your insecurities. And I never really put myself first or my health needs first, to the detriment of my family and everyone else, because you don't feel great about yourself. And I think the gift, Sari gave me the gift of the one-on-one for 3 months. And it was the perfect gift because I had to please somebody else. I was never going to do it for myself, but my coach was there and I had to do it till I didn't want her to fail as a coach. I didn't want to be like having no results and then her thinking she was a useless coach. So it was like the perfect gift of having someone I was accountable to is kind of where it started.
But I mean, it's not like you were where I am, where it's baby number 1 and it's only 6 months postpartum and I'm like, okay, enough is enough for me. Like, I need to get out of this funk. Like, I need to join the one-on-one. I need to like get my mind on track. I need to make time for my exercise. Like, Eden was 10 or 11.
Yeah, guys, we had tried to run when Sadie was like 2.
Little.
And I tried to do things in between, but never consistent, never anything. Eden, my eldest, was close to 11, and my youngest, the 4th, was 1.5. So I had years.
So let's speak about those years. I want to speak about those years. Like, what do they look like for you with regards to your self-confidence?
Well, like I said, you just want to cover up. You just don't want to be seen. Like, I never wore shorts. I always feel like my knees were like a curtain where they would like drape
I
down.
actually remember you always wore those like really, really unattractive like pedal pusher like pants. You know those ones that go like just above your knees. Do you remember those?
That's what I'm saying. That was my life was
Cover up.
It's just not a possibility to feel good.
Yes.
That's kind of where I was at.
And then Bex, so talking about the process and not perfection. So talk us through, like, this isn't a one-on-one story. Like, we're not talking about the one-on-one. We're talking about you taking control of your life, and it just so happened to be through the one-on-one. But let's speak a little bit about the process.
About how I was. So when I started the exercises.
Well, because I find it quite interesting. Maybe we should show a picture first because, sorry, I'm trying so hard here, but it's just so tricky.
So it probably feels more noisy in your own head and in your own body than it does to us. I hardly hear her.
Okay, she's just, it's a lot. So
for me, it's great.
I want to show a picture first because I often see people comparing themselves to you, and they're like, oh my gosh, like, look how amazing Bex is, or look what Bex can do. Like, I can't skip like that, or I can't do that, or like, look how strong Bex is. And I'm seeing so much of that, which is normal because you now have done so much, like with me.
So in the beginning, it was like 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off. Hold her, say.
So sorry, it's like so hard for me right now.
It's 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off for the one-on-one, and I could not do 30 seconds. I couldn't do 30 seconds of squats. I think I could hold a plank for 15 seconds. I had zero core strength. I had zero anything. And that's where I was at. That's kind of where I was at. And I just slowly built it up. But I mean, I was very unfit. I had no skills.
I want to show the pictures because I want people to first see where you were, and then now, well, this was a year ago where you're at, and then speak about the actual process. So this is where you started. This picture for me is like the most phenomenal. How does it feel? Put your head where we can see you. How does it feel seeing that first picture? Because you were never going to share these pictures. Like, that was a like thing with me. It was like, Sari, I'm never showing anyone these pictures of me.
No, I wasn't. Ever. And I'll be honest, guys, I wasn't sticking my belly out. Like, my belly was bigger than my boobs. When I took the measurements, I was like, how is this possible? But yeah, my intention was never to show these pictures. And it was Sari's birthday month, and that was the month that she said, for my birthday present, I want you to show your pictures. And how can you say no?
No, it was really important to me because I feel like so many people have, and especially moms, have been where you are at in that first picture of like just feeling years and years of defeat, like not putting yourself first, not self-confident, eliminating yourself before you've even tried. And then you started, and I feel like people now see the product. And this is why I love this theme so much, is the process, not product, because people now see the product and they're comparing themselves or want to be the product without realizing that you don't just snap your fingers and get to the product. We all start somewhere. And I think it's so epic to see where you started.
Yeah, and then I want to speak about this product. So when we took these,
I want to show more pictures first because this is just so insane. Look at this.
I know, but they can look. Wow, I hate seeing. This is hard for me. But I want to speak about these pics because I got this product, and for the first time, I was like, oh my gosh, I feel good in my clothes. I feel comfortable in my skin, which I had never felt in my whole life.
You bought a bikini.
I bought a bikini, which I did that last when I was 14, I think, 15. And I was wearing shorts, but it was for me the feeling of feeling strong.
Yeah, it's that internal feeling of comfort.
Yes, but so when I took this photo, I was like, I did it. And I thought that was it. And then I stopped doing it. And then I went like, all the way down. And that's also the thing, is like you never arrive, right? It's always a journey. You've got to be consistent. You've got to keep going. And it's natural. And you have to give yourself grace for having ebbs and flows. And for me, part of the whole thing of being healthy is like allowing yourself. Like, I think one of the coaches the other day was saying, are you mentally able to do 2 weeks of just yoga, or give yourself a break and focus more, like, you know what I mean, like the ebbs and flows
100%.
of what your body needs and what you need. But for me, because I hadn't ever done this journey before, I got there and I was like, woohoo, like that's it.
Yeah, you were like, I've made it now. Now I can stop. Like,
I can,
I'm
like,
going to stay like this. Exactly. And then you actually went off the one-on-one program for a little bit. And then you were like, oh no, like this isn't something that like I can stop. Like you needed to stay in it and realize that this wasn't this is a consistent journey.
Yeah, and I also feel like with everything and with this theme, I feel like it's consistently changing. Oh, we're getting a good view.
Sorry, you can see all my stuff that we packed.
I like it. It's consistently changing, and you have to really ask yourself the tough questions and know where you're at to see what you need for this next part. So do you need a challenge, or do you need to actually just be quiet and do yoga and do like runs? You have to really figure out where you're at for the next part that fits with what you need.
Exactly. So what area are you in right now? Because I read another post where talking just about exercise, where someone was talking about that they're feeling like they not plateauing, but that they've been pushing so hard for so long, and they're scared to actually stop because they are scared about like going downhill, but that they're realizing that they're not achieving any more results because their body is just like, it's tired. It's like super tired. And there's also, so like you say, there are phases in life where maybe your product has to change as well from what you originally thought it was. That end goal might need to change for a fraction of being like, right, I need to go into 2 weeks only of stretching and yoga or Pilates. Like that's all I'm going to do for 2 weeks, and give my body some time to rest and heal and stretch and recover. And then I can get back into the hard hitting stuff of like going and setting different goals and doing new things. But I feel like it's not just about exercise. I feel like it's a whole full life thing of like your life. You constantly are looking for the final product, but no matter when you get there, you're never going to be happy. And one of the stories that I find fits this theme so well is my friends that went to the Olympics. There's two types. There's the types that went to the Olympics and they couldn't believe that they'd made it. They had their best time ever. And then they got home and they went into this like level of full depression because they were like, well, what now?
What now?
You think reaching the Olympics is going to give you this like whole epiphany of like becoming a new person. You're exactly the same person. You've just done a cool thing. And then you have other people that go to the Olympics and they're like, that was awesome. Like, what can I do next? Kind of thing. Like, where to next? Like, what's my next product? What am I? And I feel like it's like that with anything. When we look at the product that we want to be in work, in life, in our bodies, if we constantly striving for something that I'll be happy when, but will you actually be happy when? Because when you get there, are you actually going to be happy?
Yeah.
I mean, that's quite loaded.
It is. It really is. But also I feel like half the battle is really stopping to pause and feel actually what do you want? Because you might have a goal and that could change. And really having grace with yourself to be like, has it changed? And where do I want to realign and focus? Where do I want to go? You know?
Yeah, and it's not just in the fitness, it's in the work industry. And that's why we're speaking so much about this process, not product, progress, not perfection, because I listened to Michelle Obama once where she said that one of her most like hated things, like the thing that she hates the most, is when people ask kids, what do you want to be when you grow up? She said it's almost like you're giving them this infinite like timeline of like, well, when you get there, you're grown up, like you're all good. Like, why can't a kid potentially achieve that before they're grown up? Or why can't they consistently evolve and become more things than one thing? And it made me really stop and think about like how society also places this like idea in your mind that you've got to become one thing, or you've got to have this one goal, or you've got to do this one thing to be happy. Whereas actually like consistently being able to ride life's waves and find like new ways to find joy, find new ways to set mini goals, find new ways to be content in your own body regardless of where you're at, like postpartum, pregnant, like coming back from that, menopause, like you name it. I feel like, why do we have to limit ourselves to one thing, one goal? Why can't we constantly evolve?
And I think it's brave, though. I think it's very brave to be like, oh, I thought I was going this direction and now I need to change to this direction. And that was where I was going, but it's moved to this way, because we know life is waves and you kind of do have to go with it. Like, life is hard. And I want to move on to the second part of the thing now, because I think it ties into that.
Okay, go.
So I really wanted, with the whole question of today of like, who can you be vulnerable with? I really wanted to lead from the front in this second part of this, because I feel like health and wellness is so tied in with your everyday circumstances. So I wanted to speak a little bit about the immigration process that Warren and I went through. My husband's Warren.
I'm so glad that you are going to speak about this. I actually didn't know you were going to speak about this.
That's what we spoke. I told you earlier.
I don't know how I missed that, but while you speak about that, I'm going to change a disgusting poo nappy that
I go do that and I'll speak.
Well, I'm going to do it here while I'm listening.
Okay, great. I'm glad you're still going to be there. Look at Kaya's face. She's like, yes, it's about time. So Warren and I left, and I would say that we left South Africa in probably the happiest time we had ever been in. I had such an amazing group of friends. Financially, we were doing so well. He had a great job. He had a great job. We were doing so well, and we just felt like it was time to try something out. We had the kids. We wanted to get to. Anyway, a whole bunch of reasons behind it. But we basically left South Africa and came to America with no job. Warren didn't have a job. I had the passport. So we were like, let's just go, 2-year plan, get the kids' passports. And we came on a high, starry-eyed, thinking that we were the bee's knees. And
that life was just going to fall into place for you.
That life was going to fall into place. And everything was going to be amazing, because he was this big fish in SA. And we got here and we went through all of our savings, and we basically went down to bare bones with no job offers, because who wants to employ a South African boy when they have Harvard employees in finance? And it kind of came down to us living in Florida and going to New York and saying, we can gamble, we can have 6 months of living in Florida, or we can go to New York and have 2.5 months, and that's it. Then we're over. We have no more finances to live. And I don't know if anyone's been through bouts of unemployment or financial stress. And it can be with health of a child. It can be any kind of stress that you have, but that paralyzing fear of you don't actually know what to do. You wake up in the morning and you don't know whether you should do the laundry, or you've got so many things to do, but you're so paralyzed because you're so overwhelmed with life.
Well, also, I think it's important to like mention that, like, how long did you go where you slept on the floor? You didn't have enough money to buy a bed.
So we basically had the kids in a cot because they were really little, and Warren and I slept on a hard floor for close to 6 months. We had no bed, and I promise you, every night we get into our bed now, we are like, we have a bed. Like, that was so my mind when we left is that everything would be amazing, and this whole thing of like the product is going to be incredible, and the reality was that it wasn't, and it was humbling. And I remember driving past restaurants, so we couldn't have a car and we had no credit history, so we used to push the pram. I would push the pram and walk half an hour to the grocery store, and then shop with a calculator and add the tax.
I've been there, girl.
My heart would be beating when I used to pay.
I know, to know if you had enough money.
The pram back to the kind of apartment building that we lived in New York. And I remember walking past restaurants on the way and looking in and being like, are we ever in our life going to be able to even eat at a restaurant ever again? And I remember thinking like, man, I have kids. I'm supposed to have this all together. Like, what is wrong with us? But then the narrative of I'll be happy when. So yes. I'll be happy when my husband gets a job and we're financially secure. I'll be happy when I don't have to stress about food. I'll be happy when all these things that play in. And they were very real needs. So yes, you would be happy when, because it's such a relief that you can afford food and clothes and the things that you really need. Anyway, we came down to the last day and we had no money to get back to SA and we had no money to pay our rent. And Warren got a job miraculously at UNICEF, which started him on his career. And we thought like, oh, we've got it made now, but it was a hard slog to kind of work our way up, and lots of bouts of unemployment in between there. But I want to fast forward to a couple years. Warren now has a job on Wall Street.
And like really, an insane company, like insanely amazing company.
Yeah, the boy made a plan and he hustled, and we walked through fire together, him and I. He has a job in Wall Street. He's earning really, really great money, and we never see him. He's gone for 6 months living in Germany, and my narrative before then was, I'll be happy when we have savings. I'll be happy when we can go on holidays. I'll be happy when. And it changed to, I'll be happy when I can see my husband more. I'll be happy when. And he actually ended up quitting that job because the kids thought, like, who is dad? Like, he's just a visitor that comes every couple months. And for us, it was like, this is not worth it.
No, so and it actually just goes to show it just like the I'll be happy when.
Well, also, when is enough enough?
Exactly.
Like, when is enough enough? What do you need that you can be like, oh, this is amazing. I'm happy here.
Exactly.
And some people have genuine needs like we did, like you need a bed and you need food. And that is a genuine need. But you really have to dig deep and think like, when is enough enough? And then I just want to speak, I want to speak to the identity part. So I left all my friends. My whole purpose in life is to feel needed and wanted and help other people. And so losing that, it was like the mirror of who I was gone. And I had no idea who I was. And I was so lonely. And I just want to speak to anybody who's feeling incredibly lonely at the moment, because I think you see everybody out there and you want that final product. But I mean, I then gathered friends because I was so lonely, and I was so lonely even with those friends at some stages, you know? So also the process, not product, plays into friendships and relationships and every which way. It just affects everything.
Well, and it's just the importance of, like, I often feel like we live life, especially now with like social media and being able to see how other people live life. But I feel like we constantly live life like looking ahead at what we want to achieve or what we want to get or where we're going. And I feel like sometimes it stops us from actually enjoying where we currently are, and wishing time away for something. And then when you get there, to be like, oh, what's next, kind of thing. And I just
and not
feel
being
like,
in the moment.
And I feel like it's so hard. Like Jeremy and I, we spoke often when we were in that period where Jeremy was doing DoorDash when we first arrived here. Even when I came to you, and I was in tears, and it was just like the worst thing ever. We spoke one night. We were like, one day we're going to look back on this and we're going to giggle and we're going to laugh and we're going to say, do you remember when we were like driving every single night when I was pregnant, delivering DoorDash? And it's only been like 7 months since then, and we look back now and we giggle and we're like, haha, do you remember when we did DoorDash? But I feel like that's kind of life. When you're in the harder, turbulent waves, you are not able to be present and you're consistently wishing to be somewhere else, but then that somewhere else brings you more issues and more things that you have to. And I feel like sometimes we have to just stop and smell the roses, to be honest.
Yeah. And also I truly believe personally in the blessing of hardship.
Oh my gosh.
With my marriage with Warren, walking through that time was so hard. But now I know we can do really hard things together. And that's not to say we don't have conflict now. We usually have conflicts over like the small stresses of life and everything. But when you've walked through something so hard, it can really tear you apart or it can bring you together.
And in any relationship as well, working relationships, physical relationships,
and it
you
also
name
makes
it.
you grateful, like being grateful for a bed and now having a home. Like we often look at this and we like, gosh, if you could have told us this 8 years ago that this would be a reality for us, like we would never have believed it. You just don't know where life's going to go. And also, I know we could lose this in an instant. And if we lose 100%. All of this in an instant, then who are you? You know, but I just wanted to be real with everyone about the struggle, because everybody has their struggles and you never know where someone's at. And you look at their perfect on social media, or their perfect in your mind of what you think is their life, and it normally is not.
No.
It usually isn't. You don't know what someone's inner dialogue is or their struggles. And yeah.
I guess my takeaway from this would be to be asking people, like, where are you living in the present right now, or is your mind going ahead of you to like, what if, or when I get there, or what am I going to do when I am there? And it would be, where in your life right now are you in a place where you're consistently looking ahead to be like, I can't wait till, and can we stop and actually take the moment to appreciate some things within that journey? So like for you, when you were not when you were sleeping on the hard floor, like there are so many things that I remember that you were doing with the kids, which you probably would never ever have done if you had enough money to do it.
What do you mean?
Well, like I remember you used to take that pram with your kids and you used to go explore every free museum, every free park, every free area with your kids, because you couldn't afford to do all the other things that you can pay to go into. Whereas like there's so many blessings within the hard times that you have in your life as well.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, it definitely builds character. I know everyone's like, can we just stop with the character already?
I know. I see so many comments coming through here.
Yeah, I hope it resonated with someone. I think that was it.
Well, I love that you shared two stories. You shared like your progress, not perfection, in your actual health and like your appearance, and then you sharing process, not perfection, in like your actual living situation financially. But also, I think the most powerful part of that whole story was the I'll be happy when, and then you naming it all off, and then you have all of those things, and you're like, wait a minute, I came and visited you when Warren was going back and forth to Germany.
We paid for you to come because I couldn't cope. Mom was sick with cancer, and normally she would come, and we paid for your flight to come and help because I needed help because I had no husband or.
Well, and because I remember when he was there, he was leaving before anyone had woken up to get on the train to commute to New York. And then he would come home like at 11 p.m., 12 a.m. and then have to repeat that over and over again. And then if you had to look back, you were like, that's what you're wishing for. Now you're there and you're like, holy smokes, is this worth it?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's why I'm saying, like, to be honest with yourself and actually take the time to sit and question yourself. Like, where do you want to be? What do you want? And take the time to actually know your own heart, and don't just go with the flow of life with wherever it takes you. You know, actually choose, if you can, what you want. But also that time, that's why I have so much respect for single moms or single dads, because it's a whole different ball game.
Well, I mean, I'm only having like a week of it right now, and I'm like losing my mind.
Yeah, it's very hard.
I have massive respect, and we have quite a lot of single moms and single dads in our community as well. You guys are insanely strong.
Anyway, that's enough from me now.
Well, Becs, I thought that was amazing. There's so many amazing comments coming through here as well.
Thank you for listening, those who stayed on.
Say hi, Auntie Becs. Say, come and help me, Auntie Becs.
Oh, she's going to be here in a second. Hello, baby. Hi, baby.
She's like, yes, come and save me from this lady.
Hey. Kaya, you're going to do toodaloo and goodbye?
You're going to do it with us?
Say, we'll be on again tomorrow, everybody.
Yay!
We'll be on again tomorrow and then Thursday.
We can't wait. We hope that you enjoyed our little chat. Please feel free to share your own stories if you have them. This week is all about progress.
One more thing.
Yes.
I just want to say thanks for being a safe place to share, because
100%.
Everybody's been so, like, when people post, they've been so kind and understanding and encouraging, and it's just such a special spot to be in.
It really is. And
where you feel surrounded by love and acceptance.
Exactly. You feel comfortable sharing the vulnerable.
Yeah.
Well, we love you guys. We'll be back tomorrow. Thank you for joining in on our tribal councils. We are going to say
Kaya.
Kaya. Say toodaloo.
Toodaloo.
Say 1, 2, 3, toodaloo.
Toodaloo.
And goodbye. Say bye, everybody.